did. I was very, very scared, but
Yes.
I was scared not for me because I already accepted death. I actually was scared to upset my family, my friends, all the people that wait for me, for my prediction, for my guidance, my sweet girlfriend. How are you going to tell her if the result comes negative and the cancer is all over me? I only have a couple of years to live. How do you tell somebody like that? So it's more feeling for others than for my own self.
Mm-hmm. And Terenia is very perceptive, and she's not a dummy, and so
No,
you probably took all you could to hide it from her, but she probably suspected something.
She did, especially when I wired quite a lot of money. She knew that was going to be used for surgery, and she was very courageous, and she cried a lot. She told me afterwards, but I knew, and I didn't want my family to come and join me. I just, you know, I just wanted to be left alone, and hope that the very last result. Once they've took that part of my colon out, make sure that the last result has no trace whatsoever of cancer. Yes. That means I would be cancer-free.
So they took 25 centimeters of your colon out, and they left a 7 or 8 inch scar on your belly.
Big one.
That's amazing.
And I lost about 15 pounds.
Yes, you did. And
see, I'm pretty skinny.
Well, you're very, very thin anyway. But I mean, I can feel this energy coming from you, and you feel as I can sense that you feel as healthy as you've ever felt.
Exactly. But you know what? The head of the dragon was in my subconscious, and because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, I was able to auto-hypnotize myself out of this ordeal, out of this drama. But yes. I can guarantee you that it is a very incredible, difficult, and it's important to go through counseling before and after, because I had none of that. I'm educated enough on myself to handle myself with my own wisdom, but it was indeed the most difficult experience that I could ever have gone through, and God saved my life for a good, very specific purpose.
And in a moment we were going to show another photo of you after surgery, 15 pounds lighter, in your black street clothes, sitting in feeling very alone, you said at the time, and but relieved that the surgery was over and you survived it. And there's Dr. Turi and a nice, look like a nice restaurant in Bangkok after your horrible hellish ordeal was over, and you said it was very painful and it was just excruciating. You wouldn't even wish it on your worst enemy.
No, and that was Valentine night. So I was Valentine night, miles away from my baby. Man. I was supposed to go only for what 10 days. Let's stay over a month.
Happy Valentine's Day, man.
It's all done.
And I wanted to ask you, and did this go through, you went through a reevaluation of your life and how you thought of God at the time and everything, kind of just changed your focus and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, indeed. As I always said, you know, the future is the reincarnation of the thought, and if you think positive, you can manipulate, that's the words I'm going to use, the atomic structure of your body and help the healing process. If, you know, I crash, I give up, I accept death, and then I said, no, I ain't going to let my family down, my girlfriend, my dogs. You know, I'm going to fight. I really going to fight. And I put it up there, okay? And that helped me. That helped me to whatever positive or negative answers I'm going to have, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to quit. I'm not a quitter anyway, okay? And that made a lot of difference. But my perception of God and the divine and my intuitional values have jumped all the way to the roof. I mean, this is incredible what happened to me. It was not an accident, indeed, for me to go there.
I don't believe in accidents either. I believe in coincidence, certain things like that.
Plus, you know, when I used to treat my own patients, I was concerned because I've always been committed. But now, much more, when somebody calls me that he has any form of cancer, I'm more dedicated, I'm more into that person because I've been there, done that, and I know how important it is to get some support.
Yes, oh, absolutely. Dr. Turi, did this change the way that you believed how cancer was caused? I mean, how it's often caused in the body. And since you had a very healthy lifestyle for this, but you were carrying a lot of anger, admittedly, you said, do you believe that this anger may have triggered the cancer to spread throughout your body? Well, there is the bad habit for many years in England, because I ate a lot of pigs in 15 years in England. That's not good. This fecal matter stuck on your gut, period. I like cheese, I like meat. And everything else. That's a given. But I was upset with the police not listening to Universal Code. I was upset to so many people that are religiously poisoned, that don't want to understand the face and the truth and the truths of God. I was angry to the world. So now I'm much more, hey, wait a minute here. If you're not ready for me, you got to grow up. I ain't going to go crazy and work 24/7 to try to prove a point. And when you're ready for me, you come to my level, then we can talk.
So I changed my attitude. I'm more patient.
Yes. And also, you mentioned on your website that when you would start to get angry after that, you would feel all this negative energy going into the spot where you had your cancer.
Exactly. So this is where you have to be careful, because you feed evil somewhere, somehow. If you throw a brick up, it's going to come down. That's called karma. You are going to affect the atomic structure of that very specific area where all this anger was directed right there. Right there, exactly 15 centimeters before the end of my colon, and that's where the cancer was discovered. So if you're angry, and all of a sudden you feel that energy coming to you, to your head, whatever it is, that's where you're going to have a cancer, because that's what it needs to survive. But if you don't feed him, and you're being positive and trustful, and you get a good diet, a good habits, chances are you'll be just fine.
You know, and it may be no accident that in the area of the gut here, I understand that is the God spot. That's where your intuition is. So maybe that's
that's a good analogy. But I was born with Saturn, the great malefic, in Virgo, that rules the digestive tract and the colon. So I have learned through astropsychology on the medical aspect of my work, where the fusion of the energy could be directed to give birth to cancer. And that tumor was 2 centimeters. Okay, so it wasn't small, it wasn't big, it was caught early enough, and after the surgery I'm now clear. But you still have to be cautious. Well, it took me 60 years to get a cancer, because I'm 60 years old. I ain't going to live another 60 years old. So, you know.
You never know.
Well, I intend to live after 100, for sure. But I have decided too that because I have this that happened to me, it doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy my red wine, my good food that my family makes for me. I'm just going to be decent. I'm more intuitively prepared to deal with anything now, and I know I'm going to get that thing to me again, because I had to attract it, got rid of it, so that it doesn't come back.
Yes.
And you want.
Yes, and no pig though, no pork, no pork.
No,
okay.
absolutely
I'm not a pork person either.
Pork, absolutely no pork, and if you can cook your meat, of course, if you eat white meat, chicken, turkey, do decent exercise, but most of all, don't worry, don't feed evil with guilt, pain, fear, insecurity, fear of going to hell, or God knows what. Don't feed evil. Evil needs that golden carpet to give you cancer. Don't give that option, and you'll be just fine at the end.
You know, I wanted to ask you too, before your cancer was diagnosed, and I was reading your website, that your regular daily diet included, I mean, this sounds pretty healthy to me, 2 bunches of, a daily diet for you and Terania, 2 bunches of fresh cilantro and parsley,
correct,
a lot of garlic, various roots,
exactly,
carrots, which I feed to my dogs,
exactly,
carrots, cayenne, black peppers, onions, olive oil, vitamins and supplements.
Tons.
Yes, and also too, and you write in your website that this super healthy, super oxygenated colon environment, not a single cancer cell, wherever they are in your body, can grow or spread as rapidly as it could or should otherwise, and this is what saved your life.
That's why this cancer didn't spread as fast as it should have.
Yes, and also too that the doctors were convinced that you survived because they so-called caught the disease early. And
so my general health was very good when I first started.
But your feeling tells you a different story on that.
It's all within the spirits. Your thoughts are things. Remember, again, I repeat myself. When I said the future is the reincarnation of the thought, you have created every single thing that surrounds you. This camera, this table, this book, this watch was created by the power of man, which is made at the image of God, giving us the power of creation. But you can arm yourself with your thought. If you are negative completely, you're just asking for it. If you're positive, you create miracles. You can reverse the energy. It's a choice, positive and negative. Make the choice for the light, for happiness, for love, for joy, and health. And do whatever you can to be healthy. And you'll beat all odds to die at early age.
Yes. And that's kind of like the old saying that whatever you focus on expands, basically.
Exactly.
And I think that it's our thoughts we reflect out and we attract certain things. The old law of attraction. If you put out anger, you attract anger.
Exactly, simple as that. And this is what, after the year 2012, people are going to understand so much more about the spirit itself, the thought process, the expression of the human mind, and its incredible potential to create evil or health. It's your choice. It's your choice. Make the right choice.
Yes. And then we get into the realm of consciousness research, which is, I think, a problem with our modern mainstream science, because they can't even put in a box, well, what is consciousness? You know, they can't really define it, because they can't really define what is the mind and what is the capacity of mind and what are the limitations and what are, you know, is a mind limitless? But there's no way to measure that in a laboratory at this time that I know of. So
exactly.
there's a problem with the.
And that's where there's such a big mess in this